All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. Let me get myself over here. Myself to the stage. Oh, that's in the way, isn't it? Hello, let's get rid of that. Let's hide that. Let's see. Hide. Okay, we don't want that. Hang on a minute. All right, I think I'm trying to do something else here. Oh, what I'm trying to do is that one. And just get this one. Okay, there we are. Now, all right, good morning, good morning. Today is day 2 of the Lindsay Clancy trial, which we've all been looking forward to. Need to get that set up. I have, what a day it was yesterday. Historic double executions in Florida. Mr. Achachoni and our other guy, Mr. 65-year-old Duckett, who claimed he was innocent. Of course he did. They always do, you know, always right at the last minute. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. We know that. We know how that's. We know that's how it goes, and that's okay. That's okay. Now we have several more coming up. You know, because I like to cover these and we like to talk about them. We have several more coming up here in the near future. I'm going to tell you which ones they are before we get over. Let me get my stream ready for our trial today. Bear with me for just a second. Oh, it was so hot yesterday in Texas. I'm telling you, it's just too hot now. We're in the triple digit days, which are miserable, absolutely miserable. So WAR is where we're going to go. News. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. We're going to go back to the beginning. Here we go. I'm going to start right here where they started talking, because I'm starting a little bit later than they did, and that's okay. I think they just got going. They haven't been live very long at all. So here we go. And it's going to be Patrick Clancy back on the stand this morning, and here we go, guys. Oh, I just had to get up and get myself together. He's continuing his testimony today, and this is credit to WJAR News 10. So there we go. Here we go. Okay. We are ready. Now, as you will see, they have kind of already started, but I wanted to have a little bit of delay because, again, for fair use, we are using a feed that is being used by many different people, and I want to just remain within the terms of contract for YouTube. We don't want to have any strikes on our account, especially since we are kind of getting to where we can kind of get monetized pretty soon because we are so far on our watch hours, which I'm so excited about. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming in. We appreciate you. Here we go. I think they're having a little sidebar first thing this morning. It will be a long day. I hope you have your sack lunch, your drink, your coffee. We're going to have a full day of testimony today. I'm going to move on past that sidebar and where he's actually testifying. Here we go. Is there something wrong with their feed? Oh, don't tell me that. All right, I see. They had a little bit of an issue right there, it looks like, with their feed. So let's see. Okay, here we go. It's probably whenever they were bringing all the necessaries in. Here we go. There we go. Now we're ready. And it's a little low, so I'm going to turn it up.
Hi, good morning, sir. Hi, Ms. Sprague.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
So on Monday, I had asked you some questions about
Thank you for
the
coming
Surface
in.
Pro
Please
that
join.
you and the defendant had in your home and had access to, and about whether you had looked at a site on suicide methods on August 22nd. If I could ask you,
So horrible.
did you look at a site for suicide methods on August 23rd, 2022?
I don't believe so.
And I had also asked you on Monday about when you were leaving the home on the night of January 24th, 2023, your observations of Lindsay and the children. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you had testified that you observed Dawson on the couch eating, I believe you said chicken nuggets and green beans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you recall, if you're facing the couch, where he was on the couch?
If I were facing the couch, he would be to the right.
To the right, okay. And showing you a photograph of the living room where there are some bowls on the couch. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the couch looked that night?
Yeah.
We could have this photo marked as the next exhibit.
All right, any objection? That may be admitted.
Now, as you're getting ready to leave the house to head out to get the takeout, did Lindsay say anything to you?
Nothing specific that I can recall, just other than maybe goodbye.
Do you recall something about discussing something about CVS with her?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did she say about CVS?
She wanted me to pick up some stool softener for Cora.
And she hadn't mentioned that earlier in the text, correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So as you're leaving, she asked you to make a second or another stop while you're out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in response to that request, did you ask her to do something?
I don't remember.
I could show you page 77, lines 23 and 24, if you could just read this to yourself.
Yeah, I told her to text it to me, which she did.
I'm sorry, so that refresh your memory and
Yep.
ask her to text it to you?
Yes,
And did she do so?
she did.
And was that at approximately 5:15 p.m. that she texted PDLX?
Sounds correct.
So your two stops then that night were going to be CVS and the 3V restaurant, correct?
Yes.
Where did you go first?
CVS.
And do you remember the route that you took to get there?
Yeah, I went out our driveway, took a right on Winter Street, and then took a left on the main road and went to CVS.
So it's a pretty direct route from your house to CVS?
Yeah.
going to have you look at the screen, if you would, to a map. And coming into this red dot here, is that the approximate location of your home at 47 Summer Street?
Yeah.
And then looking at this pink dot here next to Big Y, is that where the CVS is located?
Yes.
And that's the CVS you went to that night?
Yes.
About how long did it take you to get there?
3 minutes.
And when you got to CVS, did you go inside?
Yes.
And what section did you go to in CVS?
I think it was pediatrics.
If we could pull up the CVS video. I'm going to ask you to look at the video here. Is that you entering the store?
Yeah.
Okay. And that section you head to on the right, is that the pediatric medication section?
Yeah.
Okay. And while you're in that section, looking for the medication, you do something.
I called Lindsay
And why did you call Lindsay?
because what we were looking for wasn't there. The shelves are pretty empty. It was still during COVID.
It was just, I'm sorry, what?
It was during COVID, so
Okay, so, and was that call at about approximately 5:33 p.m.?
yeah.
Okay. And then, did she answer the call?
Yes.
She entered when you called her?
Actually, I think she didn't at first. She called back.
Okay. And did you receive a call back from her about a minute later at 5:34 p.m.?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And can you describe that phone call for us?
It was very brief. I just said, I think there's a generic brand, and I said, is this one okay? And she said, yeah, that's fine.
And what was her demeanor during the call?
She was pretty quiet. It sounded like she was busy. I remember hanging up thinking she's probably in the middle of giving baths or something like that.
So it sounded to you like she was in the middle of something?
Yeah.
Were you able to understand her when she spoke to you?
Yeah.
And did she seem to understand what you were saying?
Yes.
And she didn't seem to have any trouble recalling why you were at CVS or what you were looking for?
That's correct.
And did you, in fact, purchase some Pedialyx at CVS?
Yes.
Did you purchase anything else while you were there?
I bought a pack of Skittles.
Just showing you a receipt here from CVS. Does this appear to be an accurate description of what was purchased?
Yeah.
We could have the CVS receipt marked as the next exhibit, please.
All right. That may be admitted.
26. And then if we could have the original CVS video marked as an exhibit and the CVS timeline, a condensed version.
Be 27 and 28.
We have the original marked as 27 and the timeline is 28, please. It's 26, 27, and 28 is the mark.
All right. Thank you.
After you had made your purchases at CVS, where did you go next?
To 3V.
And do you remember the route you took to get there? After you had made your purchases at CVS,
Yeah,
where
I
did
think
you
I
go
got on
next?
Route 3 South for just one exit, and then I got off and went straight to 3V.
And showing you the map again here on the screen. This green dot here on the bottom, is that where 3V restaurant is located?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd move to submit a copy, a digital copy of the map. We have it on the computer. I can make a hard copy.
That may be admitted.
We can use empty case as a marker. Is it 29?
All right, thank you.
We could pull up the 3D video, please. Now, sir, how long approximately did it take you to get from CVS to 3V?
Probably around 10 minutes.
And when you got to the 3V restaurant, did you go inside?
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you to watch the video on screen. At 5:54:15 p.m., is that you coming in behind that other couple there?
Yeah.
And what are you doing at that point when you're looking at the bags?
I think I was looking for the bag with my name on it.
Do you recall what you're doing on your phone at that time?
I don't. It could be work related, could be anything.
And the order that was listed under your name and phone number, correct?
I think Lindsay ordered it.
Right, but do you recall whose name it was under when you picked it up?
I don't recall specifically, but it could have been mine.
Show you a receipt here from 3B Restaurant for Mediterranean Powerball and scallop and pork belly risotto. You could just look at the name and the number on the receipt.
Yeah, that's my name and my number.
So that's your phone number?
Yep.
Okay. So although the defendant called in the order, your name and phone number were given and were given accurately, is that correct?
Correct.
If we could have the 3V video marked as the next exhibit.
That may be admitted. Can I see counsel just very briefly?
And lots of questions here. He seems to be extremely bothered by the questions being asked. And now we're finding that not only was this phoned in, but she only ordered 2 items. Now, she said she didn't take anything out to cook. Could they get takeout? To me, that seems like the whole family's getting takeout, yet she only orders 2 items. Then she says, after he leaves, remember, there was a voice in my head telling me this is my last chance, and so she goes and does that. Now, if the takeout was for the whole family because she didn't take anything out, I can see that, this could be true. But because she only ordered 2 items, it sounds like something, risotto and something else. For one person, it sounds like, not the whole family, that there's a little premeditation here. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I think have the receipt marked as the next exhibit.
All right. It's subject to the court's order, that may be admitted.
Sir, after picking up the order at 3V, where did you go next?
Home.
And do you recall the route you took home?
Okay, trigger warning, guys. This is fixing to be
Probably the
hard.
same route, one exit on the highway, and then went home.
Okay. Do you recall approximately how long it took you to get home?
I would guess 10 to 12 minutes.
When you arrived home, where did you park?
In the driveway.
What type of car did you drive then?
A Chevy Silverado.
And was that a white pickup truck?
Yeah.
What kind of car did Lindsay drive then?
It was a Kia SUV.
And once you parked there, were both vehicles now in the driveway?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a series of photographs of the exterior of your home. You could just look through them and tell me if they accurately reflect how your home looked on January 24th, 2023.
Yeah, these are accurate.
You could have these photographs of the exterior of the home, front and back, marked sequentially as exhibits.
They may be admitted. Thank you.
Sir, showing you what's been marked as exhibit 32. Is this the front of your house with the main door?
Yes.
And then showing you what's been marked as exhibit 33. Where is this in relation to that main front door?
It's to the right.
And here where the light is that a secondary entrance at the front of the house?
Yes.
And for the record, that's to the left of the garage.
Yeah.
Showing you exhibit 34. Can you tell us what portion of the house this is?
It's to the left of the front door.
So if I'm facing the front door, it's to the left. There's a fence there, is that correct? And exhibit 35, is that more of that same fence on the left?
Yes.
And then showing you exhibit 36, is this looking at your backyard from that left side area where the fence is?
Yeah.
And then exhibit 37, can you tell us what we're seeing here?
This is the back of the house and the window where Lindsay jumped out.
And exhibit 38, is that a more direct view of that back of the house?
Yeah.
And so the window you referenced about Lindsay, is it this upper right top window?
Yeah.
And what is behind that window?
Our bedroom.
And the window to the left there in the middle, what room is that window in?
That's the upstairs bathroom.
And then the top window on the far left, what room is that for?
That was Dawson's bedroom.
Austin's. Okay. And then directly below the top right window, so the bottom far right window, what room is that window for?
The living room.
And then again, the middle window on the bottom level.
Downstairs bathroom.
And then that window on the far left there, is that the kitchen?
Yeah.
And on the far left of the photo where the sliding glass doors are, where does that lead into?
There's like a room off of the kitchen where there's a kitchen table.
When you got home and you parked your truck, how did you get into the home?
I went in through that side door.
The door that was to the left of the garage?
Yeah.
And what did you do once you got inside the home?
I started taking my boots off.
And did you have some bags with you from CVS and 3V?
Yeah,
Where did you place those?
on the kitchen island.
Show you a couple photos of that area where you came in. Just tell us if it accurately represents how they looked, that area looked on January 24th.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Could have these two photos marked as the next exhibit, please.
It may be a minute.
Exhibits 39 and 40. So we're showing you what's been marked as exhibit 39. Can you tell us where the sliding glass doors are in this photograph?
They're to the left of the kitchen table.
So we have here the kitchen table, kind of in the center of the photograph, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so these are the sliding glass doors?
Yeah.
And where's the door that you came through?
To the right after the kitchen table.
Right here, next to the curtain?
Yeah.
And the door, when you're looking at the photo straight ahead, this door to the left of the mirror or the photo there, where does that lead?
The garage.
And then showing you exhibit 40. Is that where you place the bags on the island in the kitchen?
Yeah.
When you came into the house and you were taking off your boots and putting things down, was there anything you noticed?
Yeah, the house is really quiet.
Is that unusual?
Yeah.
And when you realized it was really quiet, what did you do?
I called out.
And who did you call out to?
Okay,
Everyone.
can't do that stuff.
Did anyone answer?
No.
Okay.
After you called out and no one answered, what did you do next?
I think I don't know the order, but I called down in the basement and no one answered. And then I called Lindsay to see if she was home because I looked out and I couldn't see her car, but it's because it was dark and her car's black.
Okay, so when you say you called down to the basement, when you approached the basement door, do you remember if it was open or shut?
It was shut.
So did you open it and yell down?
Yeah,
And there was no response?
correct.
And
Go ahead, be scary.
is that a fair and accurate depiction of the stairway down to the basement level?
Yeah.
We can have this marked as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Do you recall when you opened the door to yell down whether the light was on or off?
Yeah, it was on, but Lindsay always left the light on.
And you said you called Lindsay, was that a phone call?
Yeah,
And was that at approximately 6:09 PM?
yeah,
And did she answer?
no.
After calling down the stairs to the basement, did you leave the door open or did you close it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I would think I closed it because I always try to keep it closed. I'm not sure.
Okay. And so after you called Lindsay and didn't get a response, what did you do next?
I started checking upstairs.
And where did you check upstairs?
First, the bathroom. I thought maybe they were taking baths, but there's no one there.
And then where did you go?
The kids' bedrooms.
Was there anyone in the kids' bedrooms?
No.
And then did you go to your bedroom?
Yeah.
And were you able to get into your bedroom right away?
No, the door was locked, and that's when I knew something was wrong.
And when you realized the door was locked, did you have a way to unlock it?
Yeah, the previous owners, when they installed the doorknobs, had these like these little keys that they tape to the back of each door. So I got the one from Cora's room. Then I started
Oh, wow.
unlocking the knob.
And when you unlocked the door to your bedroom, did you go in?
Yeah.
And what did you see when you opened the door and went in?
I just saw blood everywhere, and the window is open.
Trigger warning
And-
right here, guys. Sorry. So sorry.
Showing you here a photo. Is this the bed in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Now, the way the bed is in this photo, kind of pulled away from the wall and slightly askew or at an angle, is that the way it was typically?
No,
And when you left the bedroom that day for the last time prior to coming home later that night, was the bed in that position?
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. She moved the whole bed?
It has this photo marked.
That may be admitted.
That's wild. Completely wild.
And you said you saw the window, is that correct?
Yeah.
Was it open?
Yeah, there was wind blowing in.
Showing you a photo here. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the window looked?
Yeah.
Mark this the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Did you walk into the room and over to the window?
No,
How far into the room did you get?
probably 1 or 2 steps, and then I immediately turned around and went outside.
And the blood that you saw, where was that located in the room?
It was everywhere. It was,
Oh,
it looked like it was sprayed almost with like a hose, and there was a huge puddle in the middle of the room, and it was sprayed all over pretty much every surface.
so sad.
I remember it was on the doorknob.
Okay. Showing you 3 photos.
Okay, trigger warning in case they show these photos. They showed them on Monday.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the room looked on January 24th, 2023?
Yeah.
We could have these 3 photos marked as the next exhibits.
They may be admitted.
So showing you what's been marked exhibit 44. Is this the entrance to the room, looking into the room?
Yeah.
And then exhibit 45, is this mirror to the right of that bureau we were just looking at?
Yeah.
And this area right here, is this the blood you were referring to?
Yeah, that's some of the blood.
And then in exhibit 46, is that getting closer to the window?
Yeah.
And is that more of the blood that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Going back to exhibit 42. There's no blood on the walls or on the bedding, correct?
On those walls and the bedding, correct.
This has to be so hard for him, I'm telling you. He's reliving a nightmare.
Sir, were you aware that the defendant's phone was found on the bed in the bedroom that night?
No.
They're showing you this phone with this light brown case. Do you recognize this?
Yes,
Whose phone is it?
that was Lindsay's phone.
And is this the phone that she was consistently using between September of 2022 and, well, actually August of 2022 throughout the fall and into January of 2023?
Yeah.
You have this marked as an exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
47. Sir, after making the observations in the bedroom, what did you do next?
I ran downstairs and went outside.
And do you recall when you came around, whether you went out the front door or the back door?
I went out the back door.
So that would be the sliders, is that right?
Yeah.
And where did you go from there?
I just looked around in the backyard below that window and I saw Lindsay.
And where did you see her?
She was face up in the backyard
And where in the backyard was she?
at the bottom of the window.
And so, looking at exhibit 38, you said this was the window, correct, the top right?
Correct.
Where was she in relation to that window?
Directly below it.
So down here by the window well?
Yeah.
For the record, I was pointing right below the bottom right window by the window well. I'll show you a photo of that window you were referring to. Is this the exterior view of that window to your bedroom that night?
Yeah.
We could have this marked as an exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 48. I'm showing you exhibit 48. So the window's open, correct?
Yes.
And the screen for the window is up, correct?
Yeah.
At any point in time that night or afterwards, did you notice that the screen was cut or broken in any way?
I didn't notice that, no.
And when you saw Lindsay on the ground there under the window, which direction was her body facing?
Her head was closer to the house. Her feet were away from the house.
And did you go to her?
Yeah.
And did you observe any injuries?
Yes.
And what did you see?
She had deep cuts on her wrists, and she had a red line across her neck. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but she cut her neck.
And do you recall that these wounds weren't actively bleeding at the time?
I later learned that I said that on the 911 call.
And when you observed these wounds, is it correct that the 911 operator asked you or instructed you to apply pressure if needed?
I don't recall the whole call, but I believe that's probably true.
Okay. And you didn't at the time feel the need to apply pressure to any of those wounds, correct?
Correct.
Did you say anything to Lindsay when you found her in that state?
Yeah, I said, what happened?
And what was her response?
She said I tried to kill myself.
Did you ask her anything else?
I said, where are the kids?
And what was her response?
She said they're in the basement.
And at that time, she
Trigger
didn't
warning
tell
right
you,
here, guys. So
that
sorry.
they needed
So
help,
sorry.
or they were in danger, or they were injured, correct?
Correct.
Mm.
And so you mentioned talking to someone on 911. At what point did you call 911?
I don't know the exact time, but it took a few minutes because my phone was switching between Wi-Fi and 911. So I almost just started calling out for the neighbors, but eventually it went through.
Okay. So you had some difficulty connecting, but eventually you connected to the 911 operator?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you stay on the phone with them while they were sending people to respond?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're on the phone with 911, are they asking you questions and you're responding with information about her condition?
Yeah.
And if you could just look at the screen here, is this the model of the first floor of your home?
Yes.
And so we have here the sliding glass doors. Where would the basement door be in this model?
Directly below the stairs.
I would like to see her face today while she's watching this.
So now that it's flipped around, is this the door to the basement right here?
Yeah.
For the record, that's the door across from the downstairs bathroom.
Seems like they had a pretty nice basement.
And then how long approximately, and I know you weren't looking at your watch or anything like that, but can you estimate for us how long it took for first responders to arrive?
4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. And during that time, are you continuing to try to talk to Lindsay?
Yeah.
Is she responding?
She was in and out of consciousness.
Okay. Was she breathing on her own?
I believe so.
Okay. And your communication to the 911, and are they giving you, advice on how to deal with the situation as it progresses?
Yeah.
Okay. Once emergency personnel arrive, what do you do?
I immediately got up and ran to the basement.
Okay. And do you still have the phone on you? You're still on the 911 call?
Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time, but I did.
Okay. And have you look at this model here on the screen. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the setup of your basement?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can just describe the rooms for us, what the purpose of each room was.
So the room in the back left was my office. The room with the black rubber mat is the gym. And then there's the living room to the right of that. And then the back right is just an area of the living room. And then there's a bathroom next to that.
So when you come down those stairs that night, which direction did you go?
I immediately went left.
And when you went left, what did you see?
I saw Cora.
And how did she?
Okay, guys, trigger warning right here.
She
Sorry.
had a band around her neck.
And was that an exercise band?
Yeah.
I hope they don't show that.
And do you recall whether she was, what position she was in, whether face up or face down?
Poor baby.
And when you saw her in that condition, what did you do?
I immediately ran over and tried to take the band off.
Were you able to get the band off?
Yeah.
And do you recall how you got the band off?
I think I untied it.
And when you say untied it, was it in a knot that you had to, put everything down and unknot it, or how was it tied?
I'm not sure I fully remember.
Do you recall describing it previously as when you initially tie your shoes, but then don't do the bow?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And was she responsive?
No,
And what did you see or do next?
I saw Callan.
And where was he?
He was next to her.
And how did he appear?
He had a band around his neck.
Sorry?
He had a band around his neck.
And did you remove that as well?
Yeah,
And do you recall what position he was in?
same as Cora.
And looking at the model here, just tell us, where was Cora?
The left of the couch.
So would that be this is
So sad.
in the bureau and the couch?
Yeah,
And where was Callan?
to her left.
So would that be more over here towards the chair and the bureau?
Yeah.
After you removed the band from Callan's neck, what did you do next?
I tried to find Dawson.
And where did you go?
I looked in the bathroom and on the other side of the couch. And then I went to the other side of the basement and he was in my office.
Oh, God.
And when you saw Dawson, what condition was he in?
I knew he was gone.
Oh,
And did he also have a band around his neck?
Yeah,
And did you remove that band?
yeah.
And looking at the office here, where was he located within the office?
Just to the left of the door when you went in.
Just in this area here, right inside the door?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
We may have touched briefly.
Yeah, please.
I don't know how he's sitting there so calmly. I would be bawling my eyes out. I would not be able to look at her. I would be so hurt, so angry, still wondering how the hell could you do this to your own children? Sick or not sick, these are your children. Your body made them. How could you do this? I hope they don't show the pictures to us. I hope they don't. Oh my God.
Now, after finding Dawson and taking off the band, what happened next?
I think I was back and forth. I think I went to try to help Cora.
Oh,
Did you try to give her CPR?
Yeah,
At some point in time, do the first responders make their way down to the basement?
yeah,
And do they take over care of the children?
yeah.
Where do you go?
They sent me upstairs.
And at this point, Your Honor, I'd move to submit the 911 call as the next exhibit.
okay. We're going to hear this. Please, it's trigger warning, guys. You're going to hear him. You're going to hear the 911.
Pursuant to the earlier order.
I think you are anyway. He's so, bless his heart, really. And I mean that the nice way, not the Southern way. It's always so hard. When you're in trial and you're
Dawson
responsible.
Callan removed from the home and taken to a hospital.
Yeah,
Was that Beth Israel Deaconess in Plymouth?
yeah,
Did you also go to that location?
yeah.
And at the hospital, were you able to see your children?
Yeah,
And was Callan then transported to Children's Hospital?
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Did anyone ever tell you not to?
So did they just skip us hearing the 911 call? Is that why we heard silence and we're not going to hear it? If that's what happened, it's fine, it's okay. But I wanted to do some for fair use, we do have to make commentary. And I wanted to say that, you know, the hardest thing about this is when you're in trial and you work for the district attorney's office and you know, you're part of the team and you're asked to help. It is so hard to hold your composure and to not be crying your ass off when you're seeing things like this happen. And you know that it's tearing up the witness inside, mentally, physically. I mean, it eats at him every day. It is the hardest thing to keep your act together and not break down with them. And I struggled with that so hard. Here we go.
Leave your kids alone with Lindsay.
Mm.
In January of 2023, did Lindsay ever tell you that she wanted to harm your children? Did she ever tell you she was going to kill your children?
No.
Did you receive,
He's breathing very heavily.
a few days after this happened, did you receive a phone call from the defendant while she was at Brigham and Women's Hospital?
I think it was like a week or so after, yeah.
And what did the defendant say at that time about what had happened with the children?
She didn't talk about our kids. She talked about what she went through.
Okay.
And what did she say about what she went through?
She said she heard a man's voice telling her that if she didn't
Wait a
put him
minute.
out, she would lose her chance.
The thing about a psychosis is when you're in a psychosis, you don't know you're in a psychosis. So having her remember this is very odd to me, but maybe there's a medical explanation for it. I don't know, but we'll keep going.
Or something like that.
And did she also tell you that she had had a moment of psychosis?
I don't recall.
Did she mention the children at all during that call?
I don't think so. I mean, not directly.
Had she ever mentioned psychosis to you before?
No, I didn't know what psychosis was until after this happened.
Did she ever tell you she was hearing a man's voice before?
No.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
I have no further questions for this witness.
All
I
right.
just have exhibits
All right.
after.
Counsel, can I see just briefly sidebar?
Okay. No further questions? I really find it odd that she called him from the hospital a week later and just started explaining about her, not even asking him anything about the babies. Well, I mean, somebody had to lay them to rest. I mean, there's so many different things that happen in situations like this, and she only talks about herself. I'm very concerned about that. Very concerned. It almost seems like it's not real, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, thanks. Oh, wait a minute.
The witness could be
All right.
excused.
So you can be excused, subject to recall at a later point today. Thank you, sir. All right, Commonwealth?
Your Honor, at this point, I would move to submit some evidence. First, would be the clothing Clancy was wearing the night of January 24th, 2023. First, the pajama pants. Pajama shirt.
Trigger warning, baby. Sorry. This is going to be hard to watch. Evidence. Oh my God. A little house
and
coat.
pink robe.
A little pink robe for a child. These babies were ready for bed.
We could have these marked as one exhibit.
They may be admitted.
She's not looking. Look at her. I'm not going to look at that. She knows what she did.
Thank you.
And then Dawson's clothing. We have dinosaur underwear for the record. And a gray t-shirt or shirt, long sleeve shirt.
Oh.
Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
And then Helen's pajamas.
Oh my God. I might cry. I'm so sorry.
As the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Yellow exercise band found with Dawson.
Oh God.
Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Oh my God.
Black exercise
This
band
hurts.
from Cora. Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may.
And then the blue exercise band found with Alan. Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Your Honor, we would ask that the 911 call be played.
Oh my gosh. No, they're going to play it now. All right, here we go.
Members of the jury, I just kind of wanted to give you sometimes in a trial, evidence that is introduced that produces in jurors an emotional response. For example, it's understandable to feel sympathy and empathy when you hear or see certain evidence. And so, but as jurors who have taken an oath to follow the law, I'm instructing you that the law says you must separate any emotional reaction on your part from the informational value and weight of the evidence. You must not be influenced in any way by the unpleasant nature of some of the evidence, including testimony, including exhibits. And so you must find the facts in this case based only on the evidence. And so you can't find facts or base your decision on sympathy, anger, passion or prejudice or pity for or against either side. Rather, your verdict must be based solely on the evidence that is introduced in this case, and my instructions and any other limiting instructions. And I'll go into that, but I just kind of wanted to remind you of that as we go through this. All right, at this point, we're going to play the exhibit, which is, I believe, the 911 call. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I want to remind everyone that there is a order entered by the court regarding this matter. It's not to be recorded. It's not to be broadcast, and it's not to be reproduced in any way, subject to any sanctions that would go along with the violation of that court order. So I just kind of
Okay, so
remind
I don't know how,
that order applies to the media and applies to the public. So I just kind of wanted to remind everybody in regards to that. So with that,
yeah. Well, I'm not sure how this is going to work because we are on a live feed. The media is in the courtroom. I don't know if they're just going to stop it and then restart after the fact. So if there is a blank area, it is because they have been told by the courts that they cannot broadcast what they're about to hear. The jurors are about to hear the call. So just a little warning about that if we have a blank spot all of a sudden. Here we go, guys.
Kamal?
They may be playing it now, I'm not sure. But, I mean, I do have a question. How in the world are you having a live stream trial, but you can't play the 911 call in the courtroom when you've allowed media in the courtroom to live stream this, but you can't play the 911 call? How does this make any sense at all? Are you telling me this 911 call was never released to the public ever? That no other YouTube or whatever channel has ever had a 911 call? Because I don't believe that, but I'm going to check on it. Here we go. They're playing it now. I find this very odd, actually, because somebody on YouTube has portions of this call. It is out. I found it on YouTube. So this is odd, and I don't know why they're doing this. You know, she really did. They're basically going to decide whether she was sane or insane in this trial. That is what it's actually about. It's not really about her guilt, which this is the same kind of a trial that Letitia Stout had. Whether she was sane at the time that she took the lives of these children or insane at the time that she took the lives of these children. Now, I did a poll on day one, and I want to do a poll as the days go on. We're going to do a poll maybe at the end of the week to see if anybody changed their mind on whether they thought she was sane or insane at the time of this incident. If any of your thoughts have changed in the week of the evidence that we've heard so far. So be prepared for that on Friday, if they have court on Friday. I know in a lot of trial courts, sometimes they don't have court on Friday, but in a high profile trial, they may have court every day. It just depends on what the judge's schedule is. Some judges are able to clear their entire schedule when they're doing a high-profile trial like this. Some judges say, well, we have to work, other things in while we're doing this trial because the world around me still goes on, whether I'm doing Lindsay Clancy or I'm doing the guy that got drunk on Friday night. A judge is a judge. Anyway, here we go. I think they're almost done with it. It's hard to sit in silence, isn't it? Maybe I should play a little music while we're waiting, but I don't know. Let me see. I don't know how long the 911 call is. I just know that we are not allowed to hear it at this time. When the attorney's eyes open, maybe that's when we'll know it's over. Not sure. He's just kind of really having a hard time there, isn't he? Lindsay Clancy is not even listening. When they showed the clothing the children were wearing, she wasn't looking. When they showed the exercise bands, she wasn't looking. I'm still very perplexed. How in the world do you call the man a week later? You're in the hot, a week later and only talk about yourself. You don't talk about your babies, but yet you're in a psychosis. How does she know she was in a psychosis? But remember back to day one when they talked about the pills that she had and how in some bottles there were 6 pills missing, in some bottles there were 3 pills missing. She wasn't even taking the medicine. How in the world did she take so much of it? She was over medicated to the point that she was having hallucinations. She wasn't. Something is so wrong with this picture, I'm telling you. I'm just, right now, we're at 9:35 in the morning, maybe 2 hours into testimony today, and I'm still here at the point saying, oh, look at her. She's going to break down. I bet they're going to have to stop for it and take her. I'm glad we get to see this part anyway. Notice her attorney is not comforting her at all. Boy, no emotion at all. Do you know what a good show she's putting on? If you think about this, what a good show. Think about this, guys. The jury is watching her have this response while they're listening to the 911 call. Even though the judge had warned them, hey, this can be very triggering, this can bring out emotions that you're going to have to set aside. But look at her go. Here she is. I have no doubt that she loved her children. I mean, we all love our children, but to be able to make the choice that she made is unfathomable to me. I can't grasp it at all. I just can't. He made a statement, something to the effect of, no, she never told me she was going to hurt the children. That's not true. Remember on day one, he said, she told me, they had discussions, and she said she felt like she could hurt the children. She had told him that she felt like she could hurt the children. So he's not exactly being honest with her, with the court at this time. Now, I know this is very hard for him. I know he's struggling. You can hear him breathing very hard while he's sitting on the stand. Okay, my dog's gonna stop snoring. Sorry about that, guys. Jack follows me everywhere I go. I'm surprised he hasn't objected yet to stop this. Okay, notice what's fixing to happen here. She is really, okay, I guess I'm going to break.
Close your notebooks, place them on the chairs.
Yeah, they're taking a break.
Follow me, please.
I have to take her out of the courtroom. This is very disrupting. Go ahead on, Lindsay. Go ahead on.
We'll be in recess at this time.
Thank you.
All right, they're going to recess the court to get her ass pulled back together because she is showing every emotion she can.
Please exit the courtroom.
I don't know how long this is going to take, but I'm going to say they're going to give at least a 10 or 15-minute break here. But what else, what else would you expect? You got to think about this. They are playing the 911 call. They're showing the pictures of the clothes. They're showing the clothes the children were wearing. They're showing the exercise bands that she used. They're discussing what she said to Patrick about herself, not the children. I mean, I'm not shocked at her reaction at all. I'm going to pull up something over here about an actual psychosis. And we're going to talk about that, mental health and psychosis, because I just have a lot of questions about how do you know you're in a psychosis? Would you know? Let's see what it says. All right, guys. Understanding psychosis. All right. All right, while we take a break over here, let me share the screen about this while we watch on another screen. Here we go. All right. We'll be right back to it. I just want to talk about this for a second. All right. Now, while they're on their break, there are certain things people tend to picture when they think of well, that's Parkinson's disease. I didn't say Parkinson's, stupid. Oh my goodness. Let me go back and figure this one out. Understanding a psychosis. Let's see. Psychosis quiz. Email. Let's take the quiz here. We're going to take the little quiz. Wow. No, I don't think I should play that because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So we'll just look at this. Sorry, guys. So would you know if you're in a psychosis? Is that something you know? Okay. Well, we're going to say, do people in psychosis know they're in a psychosis? Here we go. So do you know when you are, we're saying when you are actively in a psychosis? Whoops. Because that is the question that I've always wanted to know. Do you know if you're actually in a psychosis? Let's see what it says. To recognize when you are actively in a psychosis, consider these signs. Altered perceptions. You may experience hallucinations such as seeing or hearing things that aren't there. Disorganized thinking. Your thoughts may become fragmented, making it hard to communicate clearly. Delusions. You might hold strong beliefs that are not based in reality, such as a paranoia of grandiosity. And that would be, yes, Mrs. Daybell over there, Lori Daybell. Emotional changes. You may feel extreme emotions or lack of emotional responses. You have social withdrawal. You might isolate yourself from friends and family, losing interest in social activities, and you have difficulty functioning. Everyday tasks may become overwhelming to manage. But the question I'm trying to find out is, do you know if you're in the middle of a psychosis? So let's see what it says about understanding a psychosis. Psychosis refers to a collection of symptoms that affect the mind where there has been some loss of contact with reality. Now, during episodes of psychosis, a person's thoughts and perceptions are disrupted, and they may have difficulty recognizing what is real and what is not. So it is difficult to know the number of people who experience psychosis. Now, psychosis often begins in young adulthood when a person is in their late teens, mid-20s, all right? But people with a psychosis typically experience delusions, these false beliefs, that, for example, that people on television are sending them special messages or that others are trying to hurt them. A hallucination, seeing or hearing things that others do not, such as hearing voices telling them to do something or criticizing them. Other symptoms can include incoherent or nonsense speech and behavior that's inappropriate for the situation. However, a person will often show changes in their behavior before the psychosis develops. Here are the warning signs for psychosis: suspiciousness, paranoid ideas, or uneasiness with others, trouble thinking clearly and logically, withdrawing socially and spending a lot of time alone, unusual or overly intense ideas, strange feelings or lack of feelings, decline in self-care or personal hygiene, disruption of sleep, including difficulty falling asleep and reduced sleep times, difficulty telling reality from fantasy, confused speech or trouble communicating, sudden drop in grades or job performance. Now, alongside of those symptoms, a person with psychosis may also experience more general changes in their behavior that include emotional disruption, anxiety, lack of motivation, difficulty functioning overall. Now, in some cases, a person experiencing a psychotic episode may behave in confusing and unpredictable ways of harm to themselves or becoming threatening or violent toward others. The risk of violence and suicide decreases with treatment for psychosis, so it's important to seek help. If you find that you are experiencing these changes in behavior or notice them in a friend or family member, they begin to intensify and do not go away, reach out for a healthcare provider. So what causes them? Let's see. But see, this is not really answering my question. I want to know, does the person know that they are in a psychotic state? That is the question that I have. So let's look it up that way. Here we go. Does a person know they are during the psychosis? I mean, that's really the question here, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Let's see what it says. To understand whether a person knows they are in a psychotic state during a psychosis, consider the following points. Individuals often lack insight into their condition during a psychosis. They may experience delusions or hallucinations that distort reality. Some may have moments of clarity, but generally do not recognize the altered state. Here we go. I'm going to highlight that part. We're here. We're going to copy it. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Let's see. Actually, we're going to copy this whole little thing right here. I think this is great. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Copy. So, some may have moments of, okay, so it says they do not recognize it. Awareness can vary significantly from person to person. Post episodes, many individuals may realize that they are unwell. Professional evaluation is crucial for understanding their mental state. That is the question that I had. And so that tells me, let me share my screen again. Let's get back on the court screen. That how does she know she's in a psychotic state? How did she know? Did they tell her afterwards that was what was wrong with you? That's the question that I have. So there's part of the answer there right there. No, they don't generally know when they're in the middle of the psychotic state. So I'm going to add something right here. I want to add this. So I'm going to put it over here so we can use it later when we start discussing this case a little bit more about, do they realize they're in the moment of a psychotic state? No, they don't, according to AI. Let me paste this right here. Okay. I'm going to make this bigger. During an episode. That's really the question I've had the whole time, is did they know? So this tells me no, they don't know. So how does she know so much about, I mean, how is she telling this to her husband? I don't know. Let me fix this. Oops, sorry. All right. Make that bigger. We're going to highlight that. We're going to make it bold. We're going to make it underlined. We're going to make it red. Okay. I'm going to save this. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to add this because we're going to use this later. But I mean, there's the testimony, and this is kind of such a shocking trial. It really is a shocking trial, to be honest with you. So much about this, just so much about it. Delete that right there. We'll add it right there. Okay. Let's put an overlay over here. That's the logo. Let's see, overlays. Let's see if we can add one right here. Add a file. Let's see if we can add this over here. Let's see. Okay, I'll have to do it from over here. Let's see, add a file. Let's see if I can do it from Word, or do I have to do it from right there? See if I need to go exactly to Word. Desktop. Here we go. Let's add it. Okay, hang on, while we wait on the courts to come back. Tell you, it's kind of fascinating, really. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up over here. Come on now. I don't know why it doesn't want to come up. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to add it later. It's not letting me add it right now, but that's okay. We'll add it later. Yes, and she was falling apart. Absolutely, she's falling apart. I mean, I guess I'd be falling apart too if you stop and think about it. The court is they're taking a break right now, I guess, while she pulls herself together, and I'm pretty sure that the jurors were upset as well. I would be upset if I was watching that. So that's just we'll just take a little break ourselves. Go get your popcorn, go get a snack while we wait for the court to come back. In fact, while we wait, I'm going to go grab a few things. I will be right back. Guess we'll talk about some other things today. All right, good. While we wait on the court. All right, what else is going on today? Let me explain something else we're going to be doing. We always like to go and do our execution watches. So in the coming months, there are several more people on death row that will be executed this year in the United States. So let me get the list. Wait. It's here in the USA. Hang on, guys, just a second. I'm going to pull this up and show it to you guys. Hang on. And these are going to be the dates. Okay, so that happened yesterday. So starting in August the 13th, let me share the screen really quick while we wait on this to come back. So hold on a minute. Stop that screen and we'll go share this other screen. Share the screen. I'm watching your report come back. So in the USA, here are the upcoming executions and the dates that they're going to happen. So starting on August the 13th, we have 3 in one day. We have Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Alabama. I want to cover all 3. So we're going to be pulling up their information in the next couple of weeks here and talking about each case prior to their execution date. August the 18th, we have William Francis Silva Jr. From Florida. He is 61 years old. September, we have LaJames Norman, who's 40 years old. And September 31, we have Kirsten Olwana, I think it's Olwana Rami, 41. And in Tennessee, on September the 30th, we have Krista Gale Pike. Okay, we're going to talk about Krista Gale Pike. She is scheduled for execution. She's 50 years old, September the 30th, 2026 in Tennessee. This is a big deal, and it will be discussed because we have not had a female executed in quite a few years. But here's the deal, whether you're male or female, if you are on death row and you have exhausted every appeal, it is your turn. It should not matter whether you're male or female, period. Then we have on October the 7th in Texas, we have Jamal Howard, pulling one down. Then we have November the 12th, John Allen Rubio. I'm sure you remember John Allen Rubio. He's 22 years old from Texas. That is fast. He's only 22. He's in Texas. How is he being executed so fast? How do we have people sitting on death row for 30, 40, 50 years, but all over here in Texas, all of a sudden we have a 22-year-old who's going to be executed on November the 12th, 2026. We've got to get into that case. It's going to be a big one. Now, we also have on December 3rd in Tennessee, Gary Wayne Sutton, who is 61 years old. So these are the official dates that have been set for each one of these people on death row through the end of the year for 2026. Let me see. Thank gosh, none of them follow my vacations that we have planned, so I will be able to cover them all. But that's what's going on there. Let me see if are we back? No, we're not back yet. So let me get us back into the courtroom and be ready for when they come back. The reason why I like to cover those is because in the United States, execution it's such a controversial subject, but it happens. What it takes to get the death penalty has to be so heinous. You can't have just robbed somebody and then get the death penalty. It doesn't work like that. So when you start talking about people and executions and how controversial it is, it's important for us to discuss the hows, the whys, the wheres, and is there another way to deter people from doing such heinous and cruel things? That's the question. I don't really know the answer to that, but I do feel like it's important for us as people to pay attention to what's happening over there on death row with these defendants. In some cases, I see that the victims are treated almost like they are the defendants because they don't get the same amount of rights that these defendants get. These victims don't get 2, 3, 4, 5 chances more to change the circumstances. They don't get that opportunity. But the defendants over here get many times to try to change their circumstances to end up with a different, to end up being commuted to life in prison instead of the death penalty. So that is why I like to talk about these things. When you start reading the appeals, you learn so much more about these people than you knew, because a lot of these cases are old. And we did not see the trials because they did not have the cameras in the courtrooms. So we don't really have the full picture. We don't have all the facts. We don't have all the details. But when you read the appeals, that right there is your timeline. That's your facts because it's all in the appeal. Testimony from the actual trial is in the appeal. So you can learn about what actually happened without having to get the transcripts, because when you start buying transcripts for trials, it gets very expensive because transcripts, it's many, many pages. It's huge and it's expensive, and they charge you for every page of that transcript. So the appeal is, if you really want information on something like this, the appeal is the place to get it from. So there you go. What's this? There's some kind of news alert. 2 will hide a roommate. Oh, wait a minute. Something's happened in the Idaho 4, guys. Let me see if I can see what this is. Let's see. Whoops, now go back up there. Let me see. 2 Idaho roommates survived plus $176 million lottery ticket. What? Okay, something's weird here. Let's see what this is. Let me see what this is. All right. Let's see if I can find the story on People about this $176 million. Okay. If this happened in Idaho, I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out really fast. Let's see. What is the story on People? Let's see if I can find that information. I'm still waiting to see when they come back into court. Let's see, 176. Let's see. It's a story that came out today about something that happened where 2 people had won this money in Idaho. Oh, here's an interesting thing. Illinois man wins the same lottery game twice in a 15-year period. $1.3 million. How about that? Let's see. Let's see. Anything else? I don't see why it's talking about that. I don't know what's going on with that. This was like in the past day. The story came out just not too long ago. Okay. All right. Let me check. So I'm going to come over here and see if they have started back yet. Because remember, we're a few minutes behind because I was trying to make sure we don't have copyright issues. So let me try to speed us up to see if they've come back yet. Let me see. Nope, not yet. All right. We're still waiting for them to come back into court. I don't see anything yet. All right. Looks like they have not come back yet. We're still on a break. I'm sure they're having a hard time getting her back together. I hope she doesn't pull one of these stunts where all of a sudden she can't be in the courtroom anymore. So she has to be just listening someplace else because it's too hard for her. See, because she can't keep herself together. And I'm sure it is hard. You took the lives of your children with exercise bands and you jumped out the window trying to claim you were going to kill yourself. Under psychosis. Okay, Lindsay Clancy. Okay. Yeah, she's falling apart. I'm sure this is tough on her. Let me see if I can find any other really good stories that's going on right now to talk about. Let's see. What's in People magazine this morning? I'm just going to pull up People magazine and we'll talk for a minute. Shania Twain. Let's see. Body cam footage shows Tony Romo being arrested for alleged OWI and refusing a breathalyzer. Uh-oh. This was 3 hours ago. Big football star Tony Romo. All right. Jared Leto accused of criminal sexual conduct by 4 women, including one who claimed she had underage sex with him. Uh-oh. He's in big trouble. What else? Let's see. 2 Idaho roommates survived Brian Kober's fatal attack. Here's where they are now. Let's talk about them. Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortison hid in their rooms the night that Brian Koberger killed 4 of their friends. It says they are the 2 surviving roommates from the University of Idaho murders. Both college students were home when Brian Koberger killed Kaylee Conclave, Madison Megan, Zayna Kent Kernoodle, and Ethan Chapman in November of 2022. Now, Funk and Mortison both shared victim impact statements, but have stayed out of the public eye. I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. Now, the University of Idaho students had been living in their off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho, with their 3 friends, Kaylee, Madison, Zayna. The 5 friends appeared to have a close relationship and frequently showed pictures of tailgating, attending dances, and enjoying campus life. College life is great. Now, however, on November the 13th, 2022, their lives were forever changed when Brian Koberger entered their home and fatally stabbed Conclave's, Megan, and Kernoodle's boyfriend, Ethan. At the time of the murders, both Funk and Mortison were inside the home. The next day, Mortison and Foucault called a friend after hearing activity in the upstairs rooms that night before. They proceeded to call police, who found the students' bodies. Now, a little over a month later, Kohlberger was arrested and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary. On July the 2nd, 2025, Kohlberger confessed to killing the 4 students and pleaded guilty, something he attempted to reverse in July 2026. Now, just before he was sentenced to serve 4 lifetime in prisons without parole, plus 10 additional years for burglary in July of 23. Funke and Mortensen delivered victim impact statements, making their first time publicly speaking out about the night their roommates died. That had to be horrible for them. The horrific murders were revisited in the 3-part Netflix docuseries, The Idaho Murders: College Nightmare, which hit the stream on July 29th. Now, neither Mortensen nor Funk participated in the docuseries, but some of their police interviews were included. So apparently this is coming out today. The new docuseries is coming out today about the Idaho murders. So we are the surviving roommates now. Here's everything we know about Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen and their lives today. On November the 13th, 2022, we know that happened. Okay, let's go on down to the next statement. According to the case's probable cause, the affidavit reviewed by People, Kohlberger was linked to the case after his DNA matched a sheath of a knife left behind at the scene. Now, I have a lot of questions about that, and here's the reason why. How did one person control 4 people in a house and 2 people were hiding in a closet? Why did nobody call 911 when they were hiding in the closet? Why were they not on the phone with 911 if they're in the closet? I have a lot of questions about this case. Did the people in the closet know he was coming to them? Did anybody in the house know Kohlberger? I just have a lot of questions about that case. I just thought we'd talk about this while we wait, because the docuseries has now come out. It is on Netflix right now. Now, during his trial, the Lada County District Attorney, Bill Thompson, shared he believes that Kohlberger broke into the victim's home by sliding through a glass door on the 2nd floor. Now, Thompson said he believes Kohlberger then walked past the bedroom of one of the surviving roommates before going up to the 3rd floor and murdering the first 2 victims, which was Megan and Conclave, before returning to the 2nd floor and killing the other 2 victims, Kernoodles. Now, why did Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen experience that night? What did they experience the night their roommates were killed? In James Patterson's and Vicki Ward's book, The Idaho 4, An American Tragedy, Prime Video's One Night in Idaho, and the college murder of the Netflix docuseries, The Idaho Murders: College Nightmare, new details emerged about what happened inside that house the night the 4 students were killed. What new? I don't understand what new details could emerge, but I guess it's possible. This is their way of asking you to go watch it. If you want to know, you're going to have to go watch the docuseries or read the books. That's what I see here, including what Funke and Mortensen saw and heard. Now, Mortensen, who was a junior at the time and living in a room off the side of the kitchen, heard someone scream in a 3-story house and swore she overheard an unrecognizable male voice saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," in a weird tone. Mortensen further said she heard someone say, "Someone's here," before she ran to her door and locked it. Now, amid the confusion, Mortensen called all her roommates, but when nobody was answering, she went over to her door and opened it to look out. It was then that she saw a man dressed in all black, who she may have thought was a firefighter, holding something that looked like a vacuum. They stared at each other for a moment before the perpetrator left. Why would Brian Kohlberger leave anybody alive in that home? Does that make sense to you? Because it does not make sense to me. He had already taken the lives of 4 people. What's one more, right? This brings me a question. I have questions now. I opened the door to look, and that's when I saw the guy pass by. She told police per a body cam video included in the Netflix docuseries. He looked at me, but he didn't come towards me or say anything, which was really confusing to me, and I don't understand that. I'm pretty sure he went out the side door and then I didn't know what to do. You call 911. If you hear somebody screaming in your home, you call 911. You don't sit there and hide. Mortensen returned to her room when she frantically called Funk and told her what she saw before trying to reach the other housemates. You call 911. Now, Funk tried to rationalize the situation and said that the figure dressed in black could have been one of their housemates, but Morrison assured her it was something more peculiar. Okay, you see this guy, you know you haven't seen your roommates wearing anything like that. You know he's not a firefighter, you know he's not a police officer, and you're still not calling 911? Please, everybody knows, but as soon as you see something, you call 911. No, it's like a ski mask almost. Now, Morrison wrote like he had something over his head and a little, and his mouth. It's got the little blips there. She's having a hard time saying this. She's stuttering as she's saying this. She continued, back then, I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out. This is Funk replying, and so am I. So this is them talking to each other. As Funk explained later in court, she assumed they would go upstairs the next day and be mocked for being scaredy cats. You assumed you would go upstairs the next day and be scaredy cats, but you heard somebody screaming and you saw a stranger in the home and you did not call 911. Okay. Were they all drinking that night? Was there something else going on that night that would make them not call 911? I have questions. Now, later that night, Morrison joined Funk in her bedroom where two locked themselves in the room and spent the next 8 hours texting their roommates. You're texting people who are not answering you. You heard and screaming in your home, and you saw a man, and you still ain't calling 911. Although Kohlberger was initially linked to the crime scene from DNA and cell phone pings, per the affidavit, Morrison and Funk also served as eyewitnesses that helped the prosecution team build their case. But they didn't call 911 immediately. In March of 2025, Thompson filed a motion stating that he planned to introduce Kohlberger's receipts from the purchase of a baklava, which is a type of bread, I think, just months before he became a murderer. Wait a minute. A purchase of a baklava, I guess, it's BLALCLAV. I think it's baklava, but I'm not sure. Just months before he became a murder suspect. In the filing obtained by People, Thompson explained that the black that he had purchased from Dick's Sporting Good, it was the type of a knife. Okay, this is the type of a weapon. Okay, sorry guys, it's not Jewish bread. Sorry about that. Okay. Some type of mask described by the surviving roommate that she witnessed one worn by a male in the residence in November the 13th of 2022. Of December 2022, Memorial for the Victims Act pastor read letters from Funk and Morrison. Now, per the footage shared by ABC News, Morrison said her life was greatly impacted by having known 4 victims, while Funk wished she could have given them one last hug. Well, you could have called 911 in the middle of this incident, and maybe, just maybe, something could have changed. I don't know. Now, I'm not blaming her. I just have a lot of questions why somebody is not calling 911 when your roommates are not answering and you're hearing screaming in the home. Now, in February of 2023, a friend of Funk and Morrison spoke to People about how the roommates were still reeling from the murder, saying they feel a lot of survivor's guilt. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Survivor's guilt is absolutely real. You know, we talk about these kids who, well, even with the Carmelo Anthony situation, or the latest one with the guy out who died at the lake. Anyway, his friends could not even go to his funeral. They feel so bad, but they were getting death threats. Well, how are they going to go to the funeral? And then in Carmelo Anthony's case, the brother, which was a twin of the victim, who could not save his brother, is just struggling with survivor's guilt. That is an absolute real problem, and it stays with these people. My own sons, the older one, who was closer in age to the other one, I mean, they have a lot of survivor's guilt, and it was hard for them to deal with as well. So their friends are gone, and they're still here. It's been really rough on them. They're going to be dealing with this for the rest of their lives. Yes, ma'am, they are. In the years to follow, the former roommates tried to maintain a life out of the spotlight amid a highly publicized trial. Now, Funk appears to have she transferred schools, and she was nominated to be an ATO sweetheart at the University of Nevada per the fraternity's Instagram. Now, in December of 2024, this was a post, Funk wrote in the caption that she was a senior on the soccer team and just majoring in public health. Although I've only been here for a few years, the men at ATO have always made me feel so welcome and safe, she wrote. In April 2023, Funk fought a legal request that would force her to testify in Kohlberger's trial. But on his sentencing hearing on July 23rd, she broke her silence at a victim's impact statement read by her friend, Emily Aldani, who discussed what it was like to live through the worst day of my life. I'm sure it was terrible. I would never want to be in her position. Ooh, I bet this is going to be a long break they're seeming to have here. Still nothing. All right, we're still waiting for them to come back to court. So I'm just reading from People magazine, the story about the survivors of the Kohlberg. I was scared the person who did this would come for me next. Now, this is what Funk wrote in her statement, adding that she had not slept through a single night since this happened. The fear never really leaves. This is Funk's statement. Every day I remind myself to live for them. Meanwhile, Mortensen spoke directly about Kohlberger's character, saying he is a hollow vessel, something less than human, a body without empathy or remorse. Now, we know that makes him a sociopath, to be honest with you. We've read all about that. She later added that he chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing. He tried to take everything from me. Now, Mortensen opened up about how her life was impacted in the aftermath of the massacre. I made escape plans everywhere I went. If something happens, how do I get out? What can I use to defend myself? This is Mortensen saying, adding that her emotional pain and grief are too much to handle. Now, that is the story from People magazine today about the survivors from the night of Kohlberger's massacre. I still have a lot of questions. I just don't understand somebody screaming in your home. You got a cell phone right there and you're not calling 911. Why? I understand people are afraid. I understand people panic. I understand people. I understand. I do. But there's a lot of other things. Now, this is from 5 hours ago, and this is from Princess Diana. There's a lot of things going on in the royal family right now. Let's talk about that for just a second. We're just going to be talking about news while we wait. Now, a lot of people like Meghan Markle. A lot of people don't like Meghan Markle. She's very controversial. A lot of people like Harry, and a lot of people don't like Harry. The fact that he wrote the book The Spare and said some pretty damaging things in that book against the royal family. I think the book was written kind of in poor taste. I understand he has feelings. I understand how he would feel because he's not number one. He was just the spare, as he describes it. However, Meghan Markle, you are not Lady Diana. You will never be Lady Diana. You do not have the grace and poise to be Lady Diana. Okay, so her attempts to make herself the new Lady Diana has failed all the way around. What she has done now, in my opinion, to Harry, has just basically ruined his ability to go back to the UK and be an active royal. That's just over. And I just think that I think he didn't know better. Hang on, guys. Something about a missing man's body. This just popped up too. Okay, this is on Nextdoor. A missing man's body was recovered Saturday evening after being reported. Where was this at? Let me see if I can see where this was at. This is on Nextdoor over here. Is it our neighborhood? Oh, Lake Travis. Okay, I'm going to let y'all hear the article. Here we go.
Use a sonar.
No. So apparently they had found a body in the lake and they had to use sonar to find him. Okay, that's terrible. Okay, anyway, let's go back to what we're reading over here in People magazine about the spare. Okay. Princess Diana's honeymoon confessions, the hidden heartbreak behind her getaway with Charles. See, Charles, I feel like Charles only married Lady Diana because he needed an heir. We know Camilla was not the person to ever give him an heir. She's just basically, I call her trash. I'll be honest with you. I call Camilla trash. A newly surfaced letter written by Princess Diana during her honeymoon with Prince Charles captures optimism, but years later, she revealed a different story. A recently uncovered letter reveals that Princess Diana wrote to a school friend about having a blissful honeymoon with then Prince Charles following her 1981 royal wedding. Now, I remember watching that wedding. It was so beautiful. I was in awe. I mean, I am not from the UK. I don't know anybody over there, but there was something so captivating about that royal wedding. It was just beautiful. But she did look like a child marrying an old man to me. Now, years later, however, Diana would describe that same honeymoon as plagued by loneliness and bulimia. She always had this eating disorder. She was particularly obsessed over Charles's relationship with his former girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles, who would later become the queen or queen consort. Now, I've always had a problem with Camilla becoming the queen consort. She and Charles are disgusting for what happened there. Now, 45 years ago, on July 29th of 1981, the 20-year-old Princess Diana captivated hundreds of millions as she unfurled her famous 25-foot train on the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral to many Britain's most eligible bachelor, Prince Charles, who was 32 years old. For many, it was the ultimate fairy tale. A recently uncovered letter written by Diana during the couple's honeymoon, part of an auction lot that sold for approximately $5,330 in July, seemed to reinforce that image. It's wonderful being married. I think it's safe to say that after 2 months, the new Princess of Wales wrote to a school friend. We had a blissful honeymoon with endless sun and luckily calm seas. We are now up in Scotland until the end of October, which is a big treat for us. I adore being outside all day, and I hate London. Years later, however, Diana would describe that same honeymoon very differently, one marked by loneliness, bulimia, and growing anguish over Charles's former girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles, who would later become the queen. Diana often gave different accounts to separate people. She says, royal biographer Catherine Mayer, it's easy to imagine why she'd write to a school friend saying, everything is lovely. If you bought into yourself, you'd want to believe it for as long as possible. She did want that. She wanted a beautiful marriage, but that's not what she got. She got used to bear the heirs, and that was it. I don't think Prince Charles ever loved her. But Prince Charles also knew the Queen would never allow Camilla. He would never be allowed to marry Camilla at that point. So then it says, even if you're unhappy, it might feel better to let the world know that you're blissful. People hide their feelings all the time. This is one of them. The letter was written during the honeymoon's final stop, an extended stay at Balmoral Castle, after Diana and Charles spent 12 days aboard the royal yacht Britannia. Now, during the Mediterranean cruise, Charles wrote to a friend, all I can say is that marriage is very jolly, and it's also extremely nice being together on Britannia. Now, Diana dashes about chatting up all the sailors and the cooks in the gallery, etc., while I remain hermit-like on the veranda deck, just sunk with pure joy into one of Lauren Van Der's, he's reading a book is what he's talking about. He's enjoying the book, and she's over there talking it up with everybody. So he seemed like he was happy, but I don't think he was ever happy, really. Now, Diana, too, appeared every bit a happy newlywed. She was only 20 and hadn't been on a yacht like that before, says Ingrid Stewart, who was the author of the upcoming Catherine and Diana. It was also exciting, asked by reporters in Balmoral about the married life. Diana smiled and said, she highly recommends it. Now, behind that optimistic portrait, however, the honeymoon was proving far more complicated. In the days leading up to the wedding, Diana had already sensed that Charles's enduring attachment to Camilla after discovering a goodbye bracelet he intended to give her. Why? Why did he need to give her anything? Oh, that's right, because he didn't really love Diana that way. Now, Mayer also recounts in Divide and Rule that Charles became in the latter about the loss of a cufflink just before the pre-wedding ball at Buckingham Palace. It was just part of a step that Camilla had given him, and that was making Diana upset as well. So he loses the cufflink that he's going to wear at this pre-wedding ball that Camilla had given him, and he's upset about it. Why? Why is Camilla? Well, we know why, right? We know why. Diana later revealed to a biographer, Andrew Morton, through recordings made for his 1992 biography, that she struggled with chronic bouts of bulimia during the honeymoon and was consumed by thoughts of Camilla. At night, I dreamt of Camilla the whole time, she recalls. She also recounted that while the newlyweds compared schedules aboard the yacht, 2 photos of Camilla fell out of Charles's diary. He took pictures of that bitch on the honeymoon that he had with Diana on that yacht. That is disgusting. I'm going to tell you, that's disgusting. Then he goes, that was just another painful memory, another reminder. The cufflinks arrived on his wrist, entwined like it was the Chanel thief, but it was actually for Chanel. It was actually for Charles and Camilla. It got in one, and she knew exactly what that was, and she knew who gave him those. Yes, so what's wrong? They're a present from a friend, and boy, did we have a row. So they got into an argument about it. After the cruise ended, the couple joined them at the couple joined the royal family at Balmoral. Now imagine having to move in with your in-laws on your honeymoon. She's a girl who lived on romantic novels. This was not what she had hoped for. She didn't want to live with them at the royal castle. She thought they were going to live by themselves. Now, the cracks that surfaced during the honeymoon would only deepen. Charles and Diana, who had met 13 times before becoming engaged, they were only together 13 times. Does this not sound like a pre-planned, like she was just set up to fail? Diana was set up to fail in this situation. How do you date somebody 13 times, then you become engaged? And in 1992, and divorced 4 years later. So they were only married for 4 years. Both acknowledged the relationships outside their marriage, including Charles's renewed romance with Camilla, who he wed in 2005. Now, looking back, Mayer sees that the honeymoon as the first clear sign that the fairy tale had never truly existed. And he is correct. It never existed. The thing that is so stinking about Charles and Diana is that they got married understanding almost nothing of each other or what they were doing to themselves. And I agree with that. That means she was just used because they needed somebody who could bear the airs. And there was Mrs. Spencer. Oh, they're coming back, guys. They're coming back. The break is over. So here we go. Back to testimony in the Lindsay Clancy case. Day 2 of
For the record, we return back to the matter Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant.
All right, counsel, can I see it sidebar, please?
Oh boy. You got to keep her under control. He's going to tell him, you can't have the outburst. Maybe, I guess. Oh boy. So sad. What? All right, while we wait, I'm just reading a little snippet from something on Reddit. Somebody put, oh, everyone in St. Louis is dead, and they're not. It's just that there's a big heat. It's like a heat advisory over there. It's extremely hot right now. People up north are not used to that kind of heat. I understand that. I mean, if you don't live in the South and you've never lived in the heat, it's hard when all of a sudden one day, it seems like it's 115 outside. Yeah. We have those from the month of August, from the middle of July through the 1st of September, we have days where every day it's a triple digit day. at least in the heat index. It might not be 100 degrees, but with the heat index, it would be over 100 degrees. And it's really hard to live in that. And our AC bills becomes outrageous. But other than that, the only other bad weather we really ever have is every once in a while it gets super cold, but that's really only like January. For the rest of the time, though, it's pretty okay to live in Texas as far as the weather goes. It's not bad. It's not tropical. It's not Hawaii, but I would love to live in Hawaii. Actually, that would be so fun. Really, Hawaii is beautiful. One of the best trips we ever had was Hawaii. We went. I'll just tell you a little story while we wait. We went on the Pride of America, which is a boat. It's a cruise boat that you get on in Honolulu, and it goes to all the islands. So we went on the Pride of America when my son, he's going to be 19 next week. He's 18. Now, my son that is 18 is a sophomore at UT Austin pre-med. I think he was maybe 11 or 12 years old. We went on this cruise boat to all the islands. He will tell you that is the vacation he enjoyed the most. We went on a helicopter ride. We did all kinds of things. It was so fun. It was beautiful there, just beautiful. I would love to live in Hawaii. Absolutely. The water is just blue. I mean, it's just beautiful. This is a weird story. So we went to Alaska when I think he was 7 or 8 years old. We went to Alaska on a cruise boat, and we went on a whale watching tour. Okay. When we went to Hawaii, we went on a whale watching tour. They had traveled down over to Hawaii, because they traveled between Hawaii and Alaska. It was so unique. It's just so pretty. The whales were, and I have some really great pictures of the whales. They would come up right by the big boat that we were on. They would come up on the boat that we went on. It was a tour where you go out and you watch the whales. Well, they would come right beside that boat. Now they weren't fishing.
All right, we're going to take about a 5-minute break. And we'll come back out.
Again?
I'll address the scheduling with council. All right, so about a 5-minute.
Uh-oh. Okay, something is going on. So apparently we're going to have an issue with Lindsay Clancy. I don't believe she's going to be able to sit through the whole trial. So anyway, yes, we went on to this. We were doing whale watching. It was beautiful, and I would suggest that to anyone. We have traveled a lot, extensively traveled. The one thing I can tell you that my child loves more than anything else is the cruise boat. Now, some people don't like cruises, and some people do like cruises. My children love the cruise boat. That is their favorite. You say, hey, you want to go on vacation? They say, what cruise do you want to take? Because they love doing it. So, but for kids, of course, it's fun. They're just getting to do all kinds of things on the boat. So, yeah, we're going to Alaska again. We're going to go in May of 2027. We're going in May of 2027, and we're going to take the whole family. But except this time, the children will be much older. We'll have our 19-year-old, and then I'll have my 42-year-old. And so my 19-year-old will finally be able to go into the little casino that they have on the boat and actually use a slot machine. He's wanted to gamble for a while, but he was never old enough. So now he's old enough. We had planned on doing a big trip when he turns 21 to Las Vegas, and staying in the new Hard Rock Hotel that's shaped like a guitar and all that. But the funny thing is he told us the other day, Mom, I don't know if I want to go to Vegas when I'm turning 21. When he turns 21, I said, why? He goes, because I really want to go back to Hawaii. That was the best vacation we've ever done. I thought, okay, he's going to choose Hawaii over Las Vegas. All right, while we wait on them to come back, let's go look and see what else is going on over here on the YouTube stories today. Let's look at the Siders case. The Siders case has got all kinds of twists and turns, and what's happening over there is exactly what I thought was going to happen. We have everybody turning it on and blaming Gary Jr. Nobody's going to take responsibility. We're going to throw him under the bus. It's all Gary Jr.'s fault. Just ask them. And they're all going to be, we're not competent. Every one of them wants to get a competency trial, right? That's another thing that's happening over here. So I was like, okay, there we go. Let me see if I can find somebody let's look at the Siders and see if anybody's talked about the latest news on them. Let me go see. That was 1 day ago. Bombshell, 1 day ago. From Dad. Okay, this is from Law and Crime. We're going to watch this for just a second. Okay, guys? Hang on. Okay, hang on. Let's go back over here. while we wait on them to come back, we're going to switch gears for just a second because I don't even know if we're going to actually have any more trial today. Apparently, she's having a lot of problems. So let's share the screen over here, and we'll talk about the Siders for a minute. So we're going to go look at long crimes. This is with Anjanette Levy as she talks about the latest bombshells that's happening in the Siders case. So here we go. I might have to turn it down.
And the prosecutor has said he is not a threat to the public. A competency exam has been ordered for Gary Sr. because it appeared he didn't really understand what was going on during his first court appearance. Gary Siders Jr., his son, is 36 years old, and he appears to be in much better shape physically than his father, who's 73 years old. You can see Gary Jr. here with his dad, as both were booked into the Southeast Ohio Regional Jail. Gary Jr. appears to move around just fine. And it didn't appear that he had trouble understanding directions from the corrections officers, although we don't have any audio to go with this video. And at Gary Jr.'s first court appearance, he answered the judge's questions.
Do you understand those pleas? How do you plead? Yes.
Did you hear his voice right there? Because I tell you, every time I've listened to this and I've listened closely with earbuds, without earbuds, etc., it seems to me like Gary Jr. has it's either a speech impediment, something is not exactly right about him. Now, I've heard that it's low IQ. I don't know. We'll find out as time ticks on, I guess. But with everything being sealed, it's making it even harder. We're just going to take a look at this while we wait on Lindsay Clancy's case to start back up. Here.
I will enter a not guilty plea for you at this time then, and you can confer with counsel.
So Gary Jr., at least during his initial appearance, asked to speak with a lawyer before entering a plea, and Judge Rogers entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Gary Jr. at that time appeared to know enough to ask to speak to a lawyer. That is his right, of course. Now he has a lawyer, and that lawyer is planning to ask the court for a mental health evaluation to determine whether Gary Jr. is fit to stand.
Of course he is. Now, here's another thing that happened. It came out that Christina is now throwing Gary Jr. under the bus, saying that she's the only one who even tried to take care of those children. And it is true that she is the one who would go to the food bank, etc., to try to get food for these kids. We do know that is true. So it's going to be fascinating to see who all ends up getting charged. Now, if you remember, and if I am wrong, somebody please correct me, because this is the way I remember this. I remember something to the fact that in the Wells case, when they take those children after someone went missing, but there was something going on before someone went missing as well, and CPS had been out there. It's my understanding that if they decided to terminate their rights to the children, they dropped all charges. I think that will happen in the Siders case. And I've also learned that no, as we know now, Elizabeth is not pregnant at this time. So that was also a rumor that was not true. She is not pregnant at this time. Hey, Cinderella, good to see you, girl. I was doing the Lindsay Clancy trial, but now we're having an issue over there, and we're on a break for just a second. So I thought, well, I'll just show some of the Siders information. Anyway, so good to see you, girl.
Trial. Attorney R. Lee Roberts has filed a motion asking Judge Rogers to allow him to file a motion requesting a competency evaluation under seal. That means we wouldn't be able to read it. Defendant's competency to stand trial has been raised, and the documents at issue concern defendant's present mental health condition and requests for psychiatric examination. These documents contain highly sensitive mental health information or information directly reflecting defendant's psychiatric condition, the public disclosure of which would unnecessarily invade defendant's privacy and compromise the confidentiality of competency-related proceedings. Defendant seeks only limited sealing. Defendant does not seek to seal the entire case record, but only the competency motion. Proposed entry that disclose or concern defendant's mental health condition and
why would you only want to seal the request for your competency? Why would you only want to seal part of that? Because I would want the actual competency. I mean, does he think that he's going to be able to fool somebody and they're going to say, oh, he's not even competent for trial, and they're going to release that out to the public? Is that what he thinks is going to happen here? Because you cannot fool them. They know if you're malingering. They know if you're faking it. So Gary, you're not that smart, baby. You're just not that smart. Here we go, guys. This is wild.
competency evaluation. No less restrictive alternative would adequately protect the confidentiality interests at issue because the substance of the filing itself concerns defendant's mental condition and need for evaluation. Good cause therefore exists to permit the filing of these limited documents under seal. So in that motion asking for leave to seal the motion, Attorney Roberts makes it clear that he has highly sensitive mental health information related to his client's current mental condition. And he's making it clear he wants him to undergo a psychiatric evaluation.
Well, now let me just say this. He's saying that, but just like Elizabeth Cyrus, remember in the very beginning, they started out on day one. She's a victim. She's a victim. She's a victim. And then it's come out later on. No, she's not a damn victim. That needs to be shut down. She's not a victim. But a good defense attorney will start with whatever he can to set the narrative so that people already have it in their mind that it's the victim. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go, guys. Let me get back over here where we belong because it's starting back so we can get back. Okay, here we go.
Before we do that, can I see the sidebar?
Oh, boy. Again? Damn. This is going to take forever. I'm curious about the ages of the senior and junior and grandma were going to school at all. And can you have no education right? Thank you, Cinderella. I understand exactly. Because here's the thing. We know Gary Jr. had a 9th grade education, and we know that Elizabeth had an 8th grade education. So neither one of them are very, smart. We knew they had kind of a low IQ. We know that. But having a low IQ does not make you not competent to stand trial, right? Why in the world would Christine allow Gary and Elizabeth to keep those children out of school? What was that about?
All right.
She knew they needed to
Call
be
your
in
next
school.
witness, please.
All right, here we go, guys. Next witness. Get rid of this right here. All right. We're on day 2. Witness number 2.
After we bring the jury in, are you ready to call your next witness?
Yes, Your
All right.
They reserve the right to recall Patrick at a later date in this trial. I see they got to put together again.
Exhibits are in that box.
Let me turn this up for you guys. I don't think it's loud enough.
Do you need those?
All right, here we go. Dolly Parton is a perfect example of, growing up with nothing. Amen, Cinderella. Amen. I love Dolly Parton. She's got that nice southern voice. I don't have anybody in that courtroom can smile. Girl, it was tearing me up when I saw those babies, when those clothes were being brought out as evidence. I'm telling you that. I saw those baby clothes. I was just crying. It's horrible.
This court is now in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant and the 18 jurors.
Okay.
Jurors, thank you for your patience with us. With that, Commonwealth, you would call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Commonwealth calls Angela Kraus.
Okay. Angela Kraus is witness number 2. I'm not sure who she is. I'm going to think she's a police officer, but I'm not sure.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the court and the jury that have an outstanding between the Commonwealth and the should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Watch your step right there, please.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, how are
I'm
you?
going to ask you to keep your voice up and speak into that microphone, please.
Okay,
All right, thank you. Commonwealth.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
good morning.
Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
It's Angela Kraus. It's Angela Krause,
And your date of birth, please.
5/1977,
Where do you work?
CVS Pharmacy,
And
Oh,
at
the
which location?
pharmacy.
Kingston,
And do you know the address of that
Okay.
location?
189 Summer Street.
And how long have you worked there?
4 years at that location.
And what is your role there?
General manager
How long have you been the general manager?
for CVS,
For CVS, yes.
9 years.
And so the entire time you've worked at that location, those 4 years, you've been the general manager at the Kingston store?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to direct your attention to Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And what shift were you working?
Closing.
Which is what hours?
Say roughly 3 to 11.
So that would be 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to direct your attention further to 4:48 p.m. Did you receive a phone call while you were working?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that on the CVS line?
Yes.
And do you know that number?
No.
And where were you when you received that call?
I was in the office
And what were you doing?
preparing to do cash for the night.
And what does that entail?
Closing out the registers.
And the call that you received, was that from a male or a female?
Female.
And what, if anything, did she say?
She was inquiring if I carried a product in stock.
And what product was that?
It was like a constipation medicine.
Was it Miralax?
Yes.
And did she specifically ask for something to do with children's Miralax?
Well, I asked for clarification because depending on if she wanted children's or adults, it would be in a different part of the store.
And when you asked for clarification, was she able to provide clarification?
Yes. She
And what-
said it was for children's.
And what was your response?
It's located in 2 different places in the store.
And did you give her any specific brand names or anything like that?
I just said that we carried Pedialax, and I was 13 and 20.
And approximately how long was this conversation?
A few minutes.
During that conversation, did you have any difficulty understanding the woman?
No, ma'am.
Did she appear to have any difficulty understanding you or the questions that you were asking her?
No.
And her voice, did it seem slurred or impaired in any way?
Not at all. It's a very normal interaction.
I was just going to ask, was there anything out of the ordinary about the conversation?
No.
Later that evening, did the police come to the store?
Yes.
And did they request that you pull some surveillance footage for them?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And if I could just have Exhibit 28, the footage.
Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
If you could look at the screen here, do you recognize the store?
It doesn't make any sense.
Part of the footage that you provided to police that night?
Yes.
And directing your attention over here to the right, the aisle where the gentleman is standing, all the way to the right of the store. Are you familiar with what was in that aisle in January of 2023?
Yeah, that's our children's aisle.
So that would have things like children's Pedialax?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any interaction with that gentleman while he was in the store?
No, ma'am.
And did the police also ask you to provide a copy of a receipt for that gentleman's transaction?
Yes, ma'am.
And just showing you Exhibit 26. Is this the receipt that you provided to the police?
Yes, ma'am.
And on here, it says Skittles Wildberry. Would that be Skittles?
Yes.
It also says FLT PDLX LQD GLY for the second item. What does that stand for in CVS?
It's Fleet brand, but then it's going to be Pedialax and then a glycerin suppository.
Okay, so the FLT is for Fleet
Yes.
and the PDLX is for Pedialax?
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing further for the witness. Thank you.
Mr. Reddington.
I have no questions. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. May sit
Yes,
down. Thank you.
I'll come up with Paul Soraya Sweeney.
Here we're witness number 3. Okay, let me get my pen and paper to contract this. This is the cashier. What do you think?
You stop right here, raise your right hand for the clerk, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the court and the jury, no matter now pending between the Commonwealth and the County Trial, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank
This way,
you.
please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just going to ask you to keep your voice up and speak into that microphone. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you,
Patrice
Honor.
Sprague.
Thank you.
She's
Would you
nervous.
Please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Saria, Saria. My last name is Sweeney or Shelgren, depending on what year we're in.
So in 2023 was
It
your
was
last,
Sweeney, Sweeny.
and now what is your last name?
Shelgren, Shelgren.
And what is your date of birth?
9/3/89.
And where do you work?
Currently have two jobs. I work at a doctor's office and I also work at 3V. It's a restaurant in Plymouth.
And how is 3V spelled?
It's spelled out the number 3, THREE, with a V at the end.
And how long have you worked at 3V restaurant?
Since 2019
And where is it located?
in Cordage Park in Plymouth.
And in 2023, in January of 2023, what was your role at 3V restaurant?
I was a hostess then.
And directing your attention further to Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, were you working that night?
Yes, I was.
And what shift were you working?
I work an evening shift. Usually I would arrive between 4:45 and 5 o'clock,
And when would your shift end?
typically between 8 and 9 o'clock.
And what was your role as a hostess?
Greet patrons, take takeout orders, give takeout orders, seat people, generally help with the running of the restaurant front end.
And directing your attention to 5:10 p.m., did you receive a call for a takeout order?
Yes,
And was that a male or a female?
as a female.
And did that person place an order?
Yes,
And do you recall what she ordered?
yes.
What was that?
It was a order of risotto and a Mediterranean power bowl.
And the power bowl, is that considered
two
a type
people,
of salad? At
one,
Yes,
Did you
one
ask any
thing.
follow-up questions about the order of the salad?
yes.
What did you ask?
We ask if it doesn't automatically come with protein. It's something that we always ask, do you want to add a protein?
Does the Mediterranean power bowl automatically come with protein?
No, it does not.
So did you ask the woman if she wanted protein?
Yes.
And what was her response?
No, thank you.
And did she also give you the name and phone number of the person who would be picking up the order?
Yes.
And is that something that you enter into the system as you're entering the order?
Yes.
Do you have any trouble understanding the woman?
No.
Did she appear to have any trouble understanding you or the questions you were asking her?
No.
Did her voice sound slurred or impaired in any way?
No.
Was there anything out of the ordinary about this interaction?
No.
Directing your attention to 5:54 p.m., was the order picked up?
Yes.
And was it picked up by a male or a female?
A male.
If we could pull up Exhibit 30 footage. And are you depicted in the video here?
Yes.
And where are you?
I'm standing behind the host stand.
And so for the record, the hostess stand or the host stand is in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah,
of the
it's
video.
that black stand that has a wooden frame around the top.
So am I pointing to the right area?
Yes.
In the upper left corner.
Yes.
You could play that for a moment. And if you could pause it, please. So we're at 5:54:19 p.m. Do you see the individual who picked up the order?
Yes.
And which individual is that?
The man in the dark jacket that entered last.
And is he the person behind the couple at the host stand?
Yes.
And showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 31. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And what do you recognize it to be?
That is one of our printouts that comes with orders, we attach those to the bags for takeout and have a copy for ourselves as well.
And displaying it. Here, here in the line where it says Patrick and then a phone number, is that where you would enter in what the person calling gives you for the information of the person picking up the order?
Yes.
Was there anything out of the ordinary about your interaction with that gentleman?
No.
I have no further questions.
Attorney Reddington.
No questions, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You step down. Thank you. All right, and counsel, could I see you at this time? And scheduling.
Once again, what are they doing? It's going to take 6 months to get through this trial if this continues every single day. It's 10:54. We've been live for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And so far, we've had the end of Patrick and 2 other witnesses. This is wild. What are you going to do now? Break for lunch and then don't come back? What's going to happen today? Maybe I should be playing some music whenever we're in these dead times, because I think we're going to have a lot of these dead times today. Unfortunately, the way this is going. Hang on a second, but the music just gets so loud. Let's see if we can play a little bit of music. Until they come back. I think they're going to come back. All right, here we go.
Today was going to be full of a couple of starts and stops. This is going to be one of those stops. All right. So we're
Again?
going to excuse you till 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Then we're going to come back. We're going to resume. I believe
That's at 3 hours.
Commonwealth's case.
Well, 3 hours from my time.
So we're going to be in recess on this matter till 2 o'clock. All right.
Okay. The dogs are over here. This is wild, guys. How are we ever going to get through this trial? Okay. So I guess we will come back at 1 o'clock. I want to come back an hour early to make sure we don't miss the start, and we will just cover the Siders case or somebody's case while we wait on them to get back into the courtroom. We'll just have to have a part 2 of today's live stream. Boy, we can't have this every day.
I want to remind everyone.
Let me see what time it is in Plymouth.
Regarding not videotaping or broadcasting from the courtroom or inside the courthouse. So I just kind of wanted to reiterate that. All right, so with that, we'll be in recess till 2 o'clock.
All right.
No, let me see something. All right, so it is 10:58 a.m. here in Texas. It's 11:59 a.m. where they are in court. They're going to start back in 2 hours and at 2 o'clock, which so that is, let's see, 2 hours from now. So I'm going to come back at, I guess, 1:45 Texas time, and we'll start over to watch part 2 of the trial today. I'll get a few things done. Let's all go get a few things done while we wait on trial to come back. And so thank you for joining me. And as I always say, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have audio issues, please let me know, because I understand sometimes with our earbuds, we don't hear an audio issue that you may hear out there, and that we don't know what's happening until after the recording has happened, and we can't fix it after it's been recorded. So if you ever hear that, please just let me know. Just reach out and say, hey, dumbass, you're having an audio issue, so I can fix it then. Anyway, I'll see y'all back in a couple of hours. Go eat some lunch, have a little bit of rest, get yourself together, and I'll see you back in a couple of hours. All right, guys, part 2 coming up. Bye.